Have you ever entered a room and felt like all eyes were on you? Or even worse, like no one even noticed you were there? What as I told you in both the scenarios, it doesn't matter how others see you, but how you see yourself. No pressure, right? In a world where even a major online streaming platform judge us based on what we watch, how do you think people judge you? Let's be real. We all form opinions within seconds. Have you ever met someone and instantly made a judgment that they're capable, smart, or kind just because they look attractive? That's the halo effect. One standout trait, it influences our opinions on other qualities. But one flaw, that's the horn effect, flipping the script and casting doubt. These moments happen in an instant, but they set the tone for how the world perceives us and, more important, how we see ourselves. So the next time if you're thinking whom to vote for or what movie to watch, think how your first impression might influence the other quality. The halo effect is very powerful. Even when we are aware of it, it's hard to avoid. It's one of the many biases of a snap decision, leading us to judgment error. Today, I am going to reveal a framework to you, which I have honed over the years, how to command any room, built on three simple pillars, yet powerful, pillars of influence, image, and legacy. Years ago, when I started as a young image consultant, I walked into my first meeting room, heart pounding, thinking, will they even take me seriously? The fear of not being enough had built a box around me, a box of my own making. But the moment I stepped out of that box, I learned something that was life-changing. We spend years learning math, science, history, but no one ever teaches us how to leave a mark. Presence isn't about perfection. It's about being authentic, bringing your truest self. I stopped focusing whether I am the perfect image consultant, and instead I focused on bringing my truest self in the room. And it was liberating. The moment I stepped out of my own box, I started commanding rooms in the way I never thought was possible. And now you must be thinking, if presence is so powerful, then why isn't everybody commanding room left and right? But here's the thing. It's not about just looking good. It's about designing your perception that aligns with your intention. And the cherry on top is, to have a presence, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be you, unapologetically. And the best thing is, presence isn't something that we are born with. It can be crafted. It's that silent force behind every connection and every opportunity. How many times have you seen someone who's trying to crave for attention is the one who gets it? The most powerful people in the room are the ones who are quiet. No, they're not shy. They just have this silent presence which commands attention without shouting for it. Sounds paradoxal? Quiet equals power? But that is the thing. There are two kinds of people in every type of room. One who walks in and says, well, here I am. And the other one says, there you are. The difference? One seeks attention, another commands it. Which one are you? Because to be honest, our presence is not about perfection. It's not about being flawless. It's about being authentic, grounded, and being aware of the impact you create. So think about it. What is it that is holding you? Doubt, fear, comparison, whatever it is, shatter it and step out and shine. The world doesn't need another perfect version of you. It needs the real you, the one who dares to take up space, shine, and speak up. I once sat in a cafe, and there were these three young, vibrant women. Their laughter was contagious, and the way they dressed up was impeccable. They carried themselves with confidence which said that I belong here. Then arrived a panini sandwich, meant to be shared. What seemed like a simple act suddenly turned into a small, unexpected challenge. The first one, not sure how to hold the knife correctly, was trembling, and the other one trying to steady the plate, making it look like the task was more complicated than it seemed. And the third one just hesitated whether she should step in or laugh at the unfolding chaos. Now, it was not about the sandwich or about that moment. It was something deeper. Their outer confidence said something else, but their reaction to this tiny incidents revealed another story. That moment was stuck with me. As I watched these young women navigating through this experience, I realized no matter how polished and poised you might appear, your presence isn't about the way you dress or the image you project. It's about being prepared for the gaps that come in our life. Because no matter what you do, life has this unexpected ways of testing us that reveal a gap in our preparation. And this is why I'm so passionate about my work. I help people how to fill that gap in the way they see themselves and project themselves. A senior executive at a global firm once told me, we judge resumes on paper, but we hire personalities in person. Great communicators and leaders are not born overnight. Your presence cannot just happen by accident. Personal branding, once reserved for rich and famous, today, everyone who with an internet connection has a power over it, whether you post or not. Yes, even silence is a part of your brand. Think of personal branding like Wi-Fi. When it's strong, people want to connect. When it's weak, they move away. Your presence is like a layered cake. The icing is just the style and body language, gets noticed first. But the real substance is in the layers below. Your confidence, your ability to connect and inspire. Let's talk about a language we all speak about, but we seldom understand. Research says that a slight frown or a raised eyebrow can reveal more than a 10-minute monologue. But how often do we send out these signals on our autopilot? Let's try something together. Everyone, let's sit up straight. Shoulders back. Chin slightly up. Feel that shift? This is not just a posture, it's a power. Now think of walking into a room like that. Calm, confident, and in control. This is the kind of presence we are building here today. Think of your non-verbal cues like a soundtrack to your movie. No matter how strong the dialogue is, with the wrong music, it can ruin the scene. In today's world, your presence is not just limited to physical. Even before you step into a room, your digital presence has spoken for you. People Google you. They browse your LinkedIn, scroll through Instagram, read your tweets. Whether you like it or not, you're always showing up. But here's the catch. If your online persona screams creativity, charisma, and confidence, but yet your in-person interaction lacks that warmth and clarity, you have created a gap, a disconnect, which erodes trust and opportunities. I was once working with a luxury entrepreneur, let's call her Maya. On the surface, she was flawless, stylish, a true powerhouse of her industry. In one of our sessions, she revealed that I constantly find myself comparing to others and feel like I'm falling short. We worked on her narrative. We reframed her way of looking at it and focusing on her unique strengths rather than her competition. And guess what? Her confidence soared. She started owning her journey like never before. So now I ask you, how do you want to show up? What is your presence saying? If you're holding yourself from that conversation because you're not sure how you might come across? Or you're thinking, when you meet someone and they threaten your self-esteem, or worse, you're dressed up for an occasion and you still feel invisible? Let me tell you, it's not your education, your beauty, or your talent that is holding you back. It's the disconnect between who you are and how you think the world sees you. Every day, life offers us 86,400 seconds. You can't save them, you can't hoard them, you can't get refund on the ones you have wasted. So the big question is, what are you doing with them? Are you investing in things that matter? Your image, your influence, your happiness, or you're letting it slip through your fingers? When somebody says, what a lovely dress, and we all get that jolt of happiness. It's a nice feeling, right? But let's think for a moment. Are they really complimenting you, or your dress is getting all the love? Now, we all are guilty of that. We all are susceptible to well-grooming, brands, power, and position. They set the tone of how we listen and how we respond. Education is just one piece of puzzle. Your influence is not about being everyone's favorite, it's about building trust. Your image is not about impressing others, but being authentic and showing as your truest self. And the legacy you leave behind, it's not measured in the accolades or your award. It is measured by the relationships you build, the values you instill, and the inspiration you provide. We've all had these high-pressure moments where we have to go and present in a room full of executives or make that crucial first impression in a meeting. I've had my share of them. And I can tell you one thing. In those moments, presence becomes everything. It's a technique, a very simple one. I've taught many clients, just take your forefinger and thumb and press it. Or say a mental mantra, I belong here. It just helps to center and regain your calmness and control under pressure. So next time in these high-stakes situations, where you feel that everything is online, ask yourself, what's my anchor? And let it guide you to command any room with confidence, poise, and influence. Because at those moments, it's not just the words you say, but the image you project and the influence you command. Now you might be thinking, yes, it all sounds good, but I don't need any work with my image. Just remember, even James Bond has a team behind him making sure his stuff fits properly. So do not hesitate to call in for reinforcement. For those young women, maybe it was dining etiquette. For someone else, it could be a handshake that didn't land well, a presentation that fell flat, or a cultural misstep. I remember my time in Europe, I was struck by seeing how professionals seamlessly blended assertiveness with warmth. In some culture, directness is a sign of respect, while in other, subtlety and grace takes over weight. These aren't contradictions, they're complementary strengths. And to build connections, we need cultural intelligence. We need to learn to adapt and resonate with people from diverse backgrounds. Connection is power, and it is the ultimate power in today's interconnected world. What kind of presence do I want to leave in this room? What kind of impression do I want to build? According to the studies of multiple intelligence, we all have strengths in diverse areas. We need to embrace not just our intellectual capabilities, but also emotional intelligence, interpersonal skills, and the ability to inspire others. Now, how many times we have heard this saying, oh, follow your passion and success will come. Sure, it sounds good. But passion alone, it's not enough. Passion without a purpose, it's like trying to drive a car without gas. You might look good sitting in the driver's seat, but you're not going anywhere. Passion and skill together will not help you to arrive at what you want to achieve. There's a formula that is driven together. Passion plus skills plus strategy equal to success. Presence isn't a gimmick. It's the strategy, not passion, where the magic happens. Think of the politicians, the business leaders, the public figures, people on top of the game. They don't just wing it. They navigate through complex protocols, rely on polished etiquettes. They manage their image like it matters. It's like it's their job, because it is. Now, passion is something that starts with the question, what excites you? What about your studies or dreams makes you come out of the bed in the morning? Skill, one thing that most people miss it. You can't just be passionate about something and expect it to work out. You have to work at it. You have to build your knowledge and expertise in the areas that you care about. It's only then you turn your passion into something that can stand the test of time. And strategy. Do you really have a clear plan, a roadmap, or you're just hoping to move along the way and figure it out? So today, I want to ask you, before you leave, remember, tomorrow when you walk into those rooms, you're going to bring something with you which no one else can. That's you. Your presence has that power to change everything. Your actions equals to your result. So go out there, command the room, not just with the attitude, but also with the attitude of gratitude. Because the actions you personify is the legacy you leave, and make your presence the loudest introduction. Thank you.